What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cover 4 podcast. Yes, we have brand new name, brand new set. Very excited to be here. As always, joined by Cody, Nate, Zach. My name is Colton. We have a bit of a rebrand here. We're very excited to bring you an upgraded set. This is one thing we were talking about. We were hinting towards earlier in the season. We are finally here. It feels great. I want to ask you guys, what are you guys thinking of the new upgrades?
Super excited. Want to say thank you to Gavin for giving us the opportunity, of course. Very appreciative.
Big shout out to Gavin.
We're going to try to take off and run with this. So we'll share our knowledge with you guys, our love of football, and hopefully we can entertain
it like we've been doing. So let's
Absolutely.
do it.
Guys, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It greatly helps us on the channel. We thank you for making us a part of your day. So that being said, let's recap last week. Zach had an amazing week. He went 11-3. Nate Dogg still leads the way on the season at 52-39. I still all-time record, but now, interestingly enough, Zach and Cody have identical records through 24 weeks dating back to week one. Crazy. So, great minds.
There we go, baby.
Let's go, baby.
We're going to jump right into this week, though. Start Thursday Night Football in New Orleans. The Denver Broncos, 3-3, coming off an ugly loss against the Chargers, heading to the Big Easy to take on the Saints. I'll open us up here. I was back and forth in this game. I've been struggling on Thursday night games. I thought I saw a lot of good things out of Spencer Rattler on Sunday. However, I'm going to switch. I'm going to go Broncos -2.5. I feel actually pretty good about it. I think this is a coaching mismatch. Sean Payton should absolutely be able to coach circles around Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen all time now as a head coach, I believe, is like 26-51, something along those lines. He's a horrific coach. All due respect to the man. I think the Broncos, if they can get a little bit of a run game going, quiet that crowd early. I like the Broncos minus the number in New Orleans on Thursday night. Zach, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with CVA here. I mean, Rattler looked good, but I'm gonna go back to last week when I was talking about new quarterbacks kind of coming into a system. It's tough for them to win, so I'm just gonna keep going with that method here. Bo Nix has been solid. He's had a couple, serviceable.
All right.
Serviceable is a better word. But he's been in the offense now. He's getting acclimated. I think the Broncos get this one done.
Yeah, it actually just dawned on me that this is like the Sean Payton revenge game.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. Denver's defense, they're top 3 when it comes to like yardage allowed. They're third, I think, in total yardage allowed on defense. And with that being said, Chris Olave, I'm pretty sure
he's out. He'll be out.
So him being out with the Spencer Rattler at quarterback.
He's a rat.
I'm taking Broncos as well to cover.
Did all 3 of you take the Broncos?
Yeah.
So we have a storm.
Storm.
I'm going to be on the Broncos heavy. I believe they're going to win this game. This is like a homecoming game for Sean Payton, just like Nate said. And the story is Rashid Shaheed, his knee injury is like supposed to be serious, so he's going to be out as well. Olave is going to be out. I guess they'll be throwing a Mason Tipton. They have Kamara still, so they got the veteran there.
Yep.
But I don't think Sean Payton's going to go to his old house and lose to a rookie. So
we
got a storm on the Broncos.
Wow, first pick on this new set is a storm.
I love it.
Pretty easy storm.
I know that one seems easy.
Words. Don't love that.
Yo, we got to see what our storm record is after 24 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
I'm curious.
I don't know.
I feel like it's bad.
Probably when we all agree. Probably. Yeah. All right, moving on. Classic.
So fade that one.
We're heading out to London. We got the Patriots and the Jaguars concluding the London series in 2024. The Patriots-Jaguars pair 1-5 teams. I don't know what London did to deserve this matchup. However, Drake May looked very good in his debut start. The Jaguars are laying 5.5 at home. Cody, open us up across the pond.
Yeah, the Jaguars, they get these games a lot in London. They got quite a fan base over there, although when Chicago played last week, it looked like they had more fans there. But this game's tough. It's a rookie quarterback. Drake May did look great. I'm just going to go with experience in this matchup. I know it's a lot of points. The Jaguars don't look like they can beat anybody by 6 points. But I'm going to lay the number with the Jags, -5.5. I think they get it done here. They're going to have the crowd on their side. I know there's going to be a lot more Jags fans. And I think Lawrence can outshine May just because of the weaponry he has. He has more weapons on that team. And I know Etienne's a little banged up. I think he's week to week, so he'll be out. So maybe a little Dearness Johnson in your fantasy lineups. In deeper leagues, you take Dearness. Yeah, I think the Jags get it done.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Cody here. The Jaguars, not playing very good football overall. Same with the Patriots, similar records. But I'm taking the Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence loves to play very well at London. Is his thing.
Where was that last week when I had him? I mean,
in general,
he's slinging that thing at all costs. So he's always slinging.
I don't know if that's a myth at this point. If they're good in London, their record's like 500. I think the Jaguars.
I'm not a Pats guy by any means, but Drake May, I was very impressed with like what he did against Houston last week. But yeah, I'm gonna take Doug Peterson, sprinkle some Tank Bigsby if he tans out.
Yeah,
I think he'll have a big day. Start him in your fantasy lineups if you have him. Yeah, I like the Jaguars in this. Yes.
There will not be a storm back-to-back. You feel like very confident with the Pats. I mean, watching them last week, they looked good. Drake May threw a dot to Booty. That was a dot. I mean, that's a rookie coming in there.
It's a very nice throw.
Like, he can play. He showed he can play in his first ever NFL game, and I think we got to value that. I think they're going to get this done. It's 5.5, plus 5.5. Maybe not win, but could be a field goal game. I like the Pats here, plus 5.5.
I'm going to have to agree with Zach here on this one. So split board here. This is more like it. I'm going to take – I'm already a kind of a believer in Drake May. I liked what I saw out of him. I'm not saying they're going to go on some run and make the playoffs, but they have a relatively easy schedule. I mean, this was a last-place team a year ago. Their schedule is going to get a little easier. I think they can start by – I think they win this game outright in London. I think the Patriots –
I like it.
I think they're going to win this game outright. So
good
I'm gonna
value there.
Take the 5.5, of course, for the purposes of the show, but I like a little sprinkle on that money line
We
as well.
take the points over here.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
As always.
He loves the money line, though.
All right, next up we go Sunday 1 o'clock. We got the Buffalo Bills, who are starting to kind of click after losing a couple of games there after starting 3-0. They play host to the Tennessee Titans, who are coming in at 1-4. Will Levis defenders out here. There's not many of us, but it's not looking great. But they are plus 8.5 on the road, the Tennessee Titans, and I'm going to open up by taking the Tennessee Titans again, plus 8.5. I know it's sick. I'm sick. I'm a sick individual at this point. I can't get off them.
Is that 7 weeks in a
the
row?
Titans.
Right?
I really
every week.
Yeah, every week I've been on the Titans. It's actually disgusting. Like it keeps me up at night. But I'm gonna take them again here because I think 8.5 is way too many points.
Man.
It's just so many points. The Titans at some point don't have a bad team. This defense is pretty good. If Calvin Ridley could produce something, Tony Pollard looks pretty good. They do have weapons on this team. Will Levis, I'm begging you, just don't be a bozo and make these crazy turnovers every single time you're in a position. I like Will Levis still. I'm going to stick by it for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, but I need to see something. Give me the Titans plus 8.5.
Yeah, actually, interesting stat here. The Titans are allowing 250 yards per game, which is the best defensively in the NFL. So
love it even more now.
8.5 points, man. Oh, man, it's gross. It's super gross. I mean, it's a large number. I'm going to go with CVA. I don't feel great about it, though. I just think the number's too big. Josh Allen likes to throw picks in these situations. I don't even know if James Cook is going to be playing. Yeah, I'm going to just stick with the Titans here, and hopefully their defense can keep it close, hopefully intercept Josh Allen and lose by a touchdown. Because they're not going to win this game.
Yeah, like Zach said, this line, it's gross, it's sick, it's disgusting. 8.5 is a big spread, but I'm going to take the Bills in this situation. I think Amari Cooper is going to help them out. Really? I mean, to this point, like, who knows, like, what Amari Cooper they're going to get. But, Bills defense against the Jets last week, they held Aaron Rodgers to a lot of field goals. And I don't really envision Will Levis putting up touchdowns against this Bills team. So I think Bills got Cooper, like, the energy, they're home. I think they covered this game.
All right, I'm gonna be with Nate here again. I'm gonna be on the Bills minus 8.5. I was with Nate 2 years ago when they had to pull the starters out.
But it's like tough.
They had to pull the starters out in the third quarter because Josh Allen and his Buffalo Bills were up about 40 points by the third quarter. Obviously, Will Levis wasn't there at the time. He's looked pretty bad this year. It might be Rudolph time soon.
That's understandable.
We're gonna see.
Very bad.
I just want to shout this out too. Last year, Josh Allen led the NFL in turnovers. He had 18 turnovers. This year, he has 0 interceptions. And we're going into week 7, so that is very impressive. The narrative shouldn't be like Josh Allen turning it over.
He's due for.
He's definitely due. And the narrative should be why they paid Calvin Ridley $90 million to touch the ball one time. He has 9 catches through 6 weeks of football.
A lot of complaints, though.
It makes you think, like, when he was in Jacksonville, he was getting 9 catches in a game for like 150 yards. So I'm going to be laying the number with the Bills. They're at home. This game's going to be a blowout. I'm not sure how involved Amari Cooper will be. As of today, he got traded to the Bills for a 3rd-round pick, which is interesting because Tay got traded for a 3rd-round pick, and so did Jahan Dotson. So
that's a good point, by the way. Filming on Tuesday. That's a big note. We note that at the top of the show, but we are filming on Tuesday. So all lines, FanDuel as of Tuesday. No lone wolves yet through 3 games. Who's going to be the first lone wolf in this new?
Yeah. I gotta say, like, that game Cody's talking about, like, that's the greatest fantasy comeback I think I've ever heard of. Like, what he had happened to him.
It's a great story. We can get into it quick. I was down 58 points. Needed Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs to get over 58. They got 59, and then they were pulled out of the game.
3 quarters.
It's just a storybook story there.
I had a similar comeback. Shout out Jack McNult.
Yeah,
tough loss. Tough one to wake up to.
Jack Goff, guys. That's his fantasy team name.
Shout out Jack. All right, next up we head to the frozen tundra. Not so frozen, I guess, still mid-October. But the Packers playing host, the 4-2 Green Bay Packers, who are in last place in the division. That's how good the NFC North has been. They are playing host to the Houston Texans, who are 5-1. I faded the Texans last week, got burnt by it. The Packers are favored here, 2.5. Cody, where are you going here?
So I have a cool stat for this game. I ended up going on a StatMuse, something I use for fantasy, and I found out that Stephon Diggs, his last 8 games against the Packers, he has scored a touchdown every single time.
Wow.
His last 8 games. This goes back to when he was on the Vikings as well. But you can sprinkle him to score a touchdown, start him in all your platforms and fantasy, of course. And with that being said, I'm going to be on the Texans plus 2.5. They don't have Nico, obviously, but I still think they're going to be able to go to Green Bay. Maybe a high-scoring affair, but I think they get it done in Green Bay, and they can cover that number, the plus 2.5, with Diggs to have a big day, of course.
Yeah, this game is very tough, very close for me. It's in Green Bay, but I'm with Cody here. I'm going with the Texans as well. I think this game might be a little more defensive, like in terms of points, because Nico Collins is out. They just got Joe Mixon back, which is good. But yeah, the Packers defensively, though, they've been like a lot of takeovers. They've been very ball hawking secondary. Mm-hmm. But I just don't dislike the Texans enough to pick the Packers by 3 in this game. I think Texans can cover.
It's a good pick there. I'm gonna do an old fade yourself here. I do like the Texans, but I don't know. I'm feeling, as I look at this more and more, it feels like a Packers spot.
You can't fade 11-3.
Yeah, no, I know, but that is true. But that's how I did it last week internally. I didn't tell you guys, but yeah, I'm gonna go with the Packers here. I feel like they can get it done at home. Jordan Love, I mean, they have a ton of targets on that team, and the Texans do too. But I think Jordan Love is gonna battle this one out. It's gonna be a gritty game. I like the over. I don't know what the total is here,
I think it's somewhere in the mid-40s, I believe, but I'm not positive on that.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Packers here.
I agree. No lone wolves. Yeah, I'm on the Packers minus 2.5. I like this one right off the jump when I saw it on Sunday night after the games ended. I'm really a believer in Jordan Love. I've ranted and raved about him on this show. Obviously, I've mentioned I mentioned that he's my dynasty quarterback probably 20 times at this point. I think Dobbs came back and looked really good after that suspension. He got 2 touchdowns. I know that was your fantasy player of the week last week.
Like a top 5 receiver.
Jaden Reed's amazing. Christian Watson got into the end zone. Tucker Kraft is a good weapon. Like, they have a lot of talent. Matt LaFleur calls excellent game plans against everybody. Like, there's no out coaching him usually. He does make a couple of game time management things, but in terms of the actual game plan, he'll have one ready to go. And I think the Packers defend the tundra and beat the Texans by 3+. All right, moving right along, we head to Indianapolis. The Colts 3-3 go back to 500 thanks to Joe Flacco and the boys. They're playing host to the Dolphins off a bye week. Obviously, still no Tua. Achane is questionable. They have some other injury concerns there. I'll open up. I'm done taking the Dolphins. I don't even know if I have that much, to be honest. I faded them to begin with, but even more so now. If Joe Flacco plays, which I think we have to have that conversation. Is Joe Flacco the starter moving forward? Because Anthony Richardson, I know he's their future. They want him to be the future, but for this season, if we're talking about this season alone, I don't know how you switch off Joe Flacco.
It's a tough spot.
I know it's a tough spot. I don't even know what the Colts fan base wants, but if they want to win games, it's Joe Flacco. I think Joe Flacco will play this game. I think they win. I think they could win this by 10+. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, I don't see why Joe Flacco wouldn't play this game. He's propelling this team, and the Dolphins are just. You can't pick the Dolphins until they show something, or the quarterback shows something, either Huntley or Thompson. But yeah, I think this is pretty easy here. Just going with the Colts, with a team that's kind of formed together versus easy.
Never like that word.
It's never easy.
It's never
easy, but it feels easy. So whatever I feel, I say. So not all the time, but sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts here. Flacco gets it done.
Yeah, I'm with the boys. I'm also on the Colts train with Joe Flacco. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why the Browns got rid of Joe Flacco in the first place. I know you want to you want to ride by Deshaun.
Yeah.
And but it's his contract. They didn't keep Flacco because Watson's contract. It is what it is. But now Flacco, the way he's playing for this Colts team too. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Colts. I think Joe Flacco is gonna pick this defense apart, and the Dolphins offense.
This sicko
will show very little resistance.
This sicko Cody's going to take the Dolphins.
No, this is another storm.
Give me the Colts.
Storm.
It's the Colts -3. I'm seeing reports. I have all my notifications on Twitter. Everybody's saying that Richardson is
X.
Yeah, Richardson's on his way to be playing. It looks like he's on pace to play, but I feel like he's going to be the emergency quarterback again. They just want him to be healthy when he's starting. I think Flacco is going to be playing in this game, and if that is the case, I think the Colts get this done very easily. I think JT's still out, but if he does play, that's even a boost. This line actually might even go up if JT plays, because Sermon looks abysmal. Sermon. Yo, please don't start Sermon in fantasy.
Goodson?
He doesn't look good. Goodson is much better athlete. Sherman does not look like an NFL running back.
I don't even know why this line's 3. It should be 10.
It was
That's all I'm going to say.
It was 3.5. It moved already, so I don't know what.
Yeah.
I don't know if the sharp money's coming in on the Dolphins or what, but it was 3.5 when I saw it, like the first thing on Sunday, but it did move down. So that's another storm. That's 2. Make it 2. All right, next up, a tough one here. The Seattle Seahawks. Once 3-0, now 3-3, heading to Atlanta, take on the Falcons. They're 4-2.
Must burn.
What's that?
Must burn and sting, right?
Yeah, it hurts. It's not a great feeling. I don't really feel bad about anything except that Giants loss, if I'm being honest. That's like the biggest thing right now. Cody, it's your turn, but as always, I'll start over here. Falcons laying 3. I'm going to take the Seahawks +3. This is amazing.
You're going to take the Seahawks?
That's a shocker.
This is I don't want to float the term must win out, but we need this one. We need this one for the locker room, for the boys. Byron Murphy, hopefully will be back. That is massive. The run defense.
You need this one for certain FanDuel investments.
That is true as well, but more so for my pride. I need the Seahawks to win. They're getting 3. I think they win outright. Byron Murphy hopefully coming back. Maffei's back. The defense should be so much better than what it is right now. The run defense in particular is kind of getting gashed week in and week out. Byron Murphy should really sure things up front. The offense has been a little stagnant at times, but they're still putting up plenty of points. I'm still fully confident in the offense. Ryan Grubb's been good. Play calling. The Seahawks need this one, guys. I need this one. Give me the Seahawks +3, please.
That was polite. You said please?
Yeah, I'm calm this
Wow.
week. I'm calm and focused. Go ahead, Zach.
Okay. I've had a notification on my phone this morning that said, "Is Bijan hitting his stride?" And I think he's right there. This is going to be another Bijan day. The Seahawks suck against the run, I believe.
One of the worst.
I'm all over the Falcons here.
I did just say that.
I am all over the Falcons here. This is going to be brutal. Kirk is going to show them what a real quarterback is. Drake London's getting in the end zone. This is Algiers getting in the end zone, and Bijan is. They're both going to have 100 rushing yards. So
You feel good at that?
this is going to be a slaughter. Probably like 28-14, I'd say.
That's not a slaughter.
Not a slaughter, okay, but it's a comfortable win.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Go Falcons.
Yeah, after seeing CVA's lock, makes me want to change my pick a little bit.
Don't spoil.
Just kidding though. But no, I'm picking the Seahawks in this one for a rebound game in Atlanta. Last week, Seahawks had going up against San Fran's defense, which is is still one of the better defenses in the league overall. They had penalties here and there that wiped away a couple of big plays. Metcalf gets 1 foot in. Yeah, that's another touchdown. Yeah, so I expect them to move the ball against the Falcons, and I think to come away with a win. Kenneth Walker get him going a little bit, 2 touchdown game.
Big thing is I still don't think the Falcons rush the passer that well, and the Seahawks kryptonite has been like the offensive line is not really holding up. So this game should be a spot where they can kind of take advantage, have a little more time for Geno. Should be able to carve it up like a turkey.
It should be good.
Yeah, for me, I'm gonna be with the Falcons -3. I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game.
I feel like this is a wicked rare pairing, me and Cody and you and Nate. Dog.
I feel like in Seahawks games it's common. No, in Seahawks games it's common. Me and Nate, and it's always you and Cody. But in general, yeah, that is a true statement. I think it's usually that side versus us.
True.
But
continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm taking the Falcons -3. I think Kirko Chains is going to be swag surfing again.
Yeah,
he's going to be doing his thing. Drake London's having a great year for fantasy. He's going to have another big day. I don't think there's anybody on Seattle that's going to be able to man him up like one-on-one. They could do some double coverage, but that's going to leave Mooney open. That's going to leave Bijan a lot of room.
Do you know who Devin Witherspoon is?
Devin Witherspoon? Yeah, never heard of him. You're going to give me the Falcons -3, and you can take the alternate spread if you're feeling frisky.
I agree with that. Alternate spread.
A little easy at Mercedes-Benz. It's in the dome. No weather. We're good.
All right, moving on.
Swag surfing the way to the win.
All right, from one team on the set to another. The Minnesota Vikings, 5-0 off the bye. Who would have thought? Not even this guy.
Not me, that's for sure.
Taking on, I think, probably the hottest team in football. I know, that's not.
Game of the week.
There's 2 5-0 teams, but I think the most complete team so far, the Detroit Lions heading to Minnesota. Lions are 4-1. They just murdered the Cowboys on national television on Jerry Jones' birthday.
Murder.
Yeah, that poor man. I'll start. I'll let you start, Cody. Go ahead. You can start. Minnesota, are you taking Z's Vikings, or are you going with Dan Campbell and the Lions?
Yeah, Brian Flores, shout out to him. He's doing a fantastic job with the defense. I haven't seen the Vikings defense look like this in a very long time.
True.
They look great. However, the Lions, like Colton said, they're an extremely hot football team right now. They just obliterated my Cowboys. It was actually It was good. Yeah, it's fun to watch that. I've only been watching it my whole life, just them being really bad. But I got a little stat here. David Montgomery, he scored a touchdown in 7 straight football games. I think that continues in this game. I'm going to be taking the Lions plus 2.5 in Minnesota. And I think the whole.
That's funny. I got an anytime over here too.
Yeah, I think Montgomery and Gibbs, both of them, they're going to have a great week.
Sam Darnold, going to the Vikings, just with the plethora of talent and weapons that he has at his disposal. I thought, I'm not going to say 5-0 was in the cards, but I thought Sam Darnold could be successful with any team, any offense he's played on. It could be this one for obvious reasons. But all that being said, the Lions are the harder team, and I like the Lions to win this game. I think Gibbs and Montgomery will score.
Yeah, I could see that. This is obviously a biased pick at this point. I do think the Lions are a better team offensively, a lot better offensively. Vikings probably edge them out defense right now. Yeah, this is tough. I'm going with the Vikings here. I've gone to US Bank. I know what the environment's going to be over there. It's going to be electric over there. They want to win this game bad. That fan base is strong, especially this year. And I don't know. I think the home field advantage is going to be very big for the Vikings in this game. I think they're going to scrap it out. This feels like it's like a 2017 game. That's what it feels like to me. They're going to win by a field goal.
You think it's going to be low?
2.5. I don't know. I think if the Vikings are going to win, they're going to have to stop the Lions. And I know that's going to be hard, but I think they can do it at home. And yeah, Sam Darnold, we all knew he was going to be great, right? We all knew that. So, yeah. But as long as the Vikings are undefeated, man, wow.
So, Cody, I like the Montgomery anytime. I also made a note here. I have another. I was on it last week, and he got his first touchdown. I want another Laporta anytime. I like that a lot. You probably like plus 180 or something like that. I forgot what I got it at this past week. He was sitting on 0 touchdowns. I like that again. And I like the Lions. That's their first lone wolf, and it's fitting that he does it with his team.
I feel great about it.
But we're getting points with the better team. Simple as that. I think the Lions going to Minnesota show who the king of the North is.
King of the North.
I think the Lions are the Jon Snow team here. Give me the Detroit Lions and give me a lone wolf Zach. All right, moving on to a Cincinnati, Cleveland, Ohio battle. The Browns are a dumpster fire. This is obvious at this point. They just traded away again, as Cody mentioned earlier. Amari Cooper is now gone. Nick Chubb isn't even back yet. Isn't he supposed to come back?
He's activated this week.
Okay.
This week. Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to matter. I'll open us up. The Browns are plus 6.5 here. Give me the Bengals, minus 6.5. I don't have much on this game. I think the Bengals didn't look dominant. I was really expecting a better performance out of them against the Giants. I really thought that was going to be the Giants' defense is more than serviceable. They're a good squad, but I think in this spot, what are the Browns doing? They are playing for what? Deshaun Watson's just to prove that this contract isn't a dumpster. That's every week. It's just they haven't put up 20 points in I don't even know. I know this season, but I think it's dating back to mid-season last year. It's really bad. The Browns are really bad. Bad analysis for a bad game for a bad team. Give me the Bengals minus 6.5.
Yeah, Amari Cooper leaving is really just the message that the Browns they're kind of done.
White flag.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they were doing anything when he was there anyways. So, yeah, I see how this game could be close. Nate Dogg's actually talked to me about that. We were doing some pregame analysis.
Yes.
But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Bengals. It just feels right. Browns
it's a touchdown.
Browns could.
Touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. The Browns, if it was 7.5, I'd still go with the Bengals. But
if it was 10.5,
I think the Browns, I could see how they can keep this close. I don't know how. A lot of BS will probably have to happen for them to keep this close. So I'm just gonna ride with the Bengals here.
Yeah.
And the hot Joe Burr.
This game.
His face, Cody.
Amari Cooper
Shiesty.
just got traded from the Browns to the Bills. Nick Chubb is coming back. And with those things being said, regardless.
I said both of those. Sorry, guys.
Whatever.
But no, you're just confirming.
Regardless,
I'm sorry.
Regardless if who the Browns have, who they don't have, these two teams, they always play close games. They're always in a scrap. As good as the Bengals' offense is, I don't think their defense is good enough to keep games to blow out teams. They're always in a scrap this year, the Bengals, for some reason. And the ground game with Nick Chubb, that gets going. I think that just keeps the game close throughout the whole contest. So I'm picking the Browns here. In a close game.
Nick Chubb is definitely playing, or is that just
there was a report last week that said he'll be activated week 7.
Entire, leg, though. I don't know.
I don't think it makes any sense to play him right now, right?
Yeah,
why, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
He's had over a year, though. He's definitely more than ready.
Yeah.
He'll be more than ready.
So you're taking them?
No. So typically in the NFC North, this division, a lot of their
Check
games.
that. I think I could be wrong. They're in the AFC.
Oh, AFC North. Sorry about that. Yeah. So in the AFC North, a lot of these games, they're always very tight. Like they're very close in these division rivalry games, especially in this division. With that being said, though, the Browns' defense looks almost as bad as their offense as of late. Like I think Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury lit up like I think it was like 40-something or 30-something on the Browns like 2 weeks ago. So with that being said, I think the Bengals do something similar. I think they're going to put up a lot of points in this game. Nobody's going to be able to guard Jamar Chase and T. Higgins at the same time. It's a tough task, and I think the Bengals get it done, even though it's in Cleveland. So Bengals minus 6.5.
All right, another divisional matchup. I know Nate likes the divisional dogs. He just picked one there with Cleveland. There's another one at home. The Giants are +3. Another home divisional dog. Nate, divisional dog. Martin's over here.
Divisional dog.
Nate Dog loves
I'll swing it to Cody first. The Giants, a couple of Cowboy rivals here. Giants +3.
Yeah. This is an NFC East rivalry here. Usually these teams split every year. Last year, I know the Giants snuck one out, I believe, and then the Eagles won one. So they split last year. But in this matchup in New York at MetLife, I'm going to be taking the Giants +3. Not going to say they're going to win this game. I think the Eagles could sneak it out. It's going to be a really close matchup in my opinion. But the Dable defenses, like they look good, you know, like especially this year. Like Colton said, they made they gave Burrow a hard time last week. It can happen again with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts isn't the same player as Burrow. Obviously, they're much different, but I just think he's going to have a hard time against this Giants defense. So I'll take the Giants +3 here at home.
The Eagles, man, overall, like it feels like such a different team from the Super Bowl team that made it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts hasn't really been the same player overall. They're in a lot of tight games now. He turns the ball over much more than he did 2 years ago. Game in New York, divisional game. All that being said, I think the Eagles have a get-right game.
Wow.
And they beat the Giants.
Divisional dogs.
I think Saquon, he had 7 points in fantasy last week. I think he gets it going again. At least fantasy-wise, touchdowns. I'm not saying he's going to go crazy on the Giants' defense, but
yeah.
I think he helps them do enough to win this game. A.J. Brown. Maybe we'll sprinkle a touchdown on A.J. Brown.
He looked really good last week.
Yeah,
We did.
Lit it up.
We got a fully healthy Eagles team here, I believe, and this is a Saquon Barkley revenge game.
Ooh, didn't even
It is a home dog, so I'm going with the Eagles. I like the Eagles here. I don't know. The Giants, they kept it close with the Bengals, but the Bengals I don't even know what's going on there. They can win games, but whatever. The Eagles, I think, are a better team than the Bengals, and they should be able to get this done. Even though it is a home dog, I'm going to go with the Eagles.
This is one of my favorite spots of the week. I'm taking the Giants +3. Didn't expect you to lone wolf this one.
I thought you went Eagles. Did you not go Eagles?
No, you went Giants.
Yeah, no, I went Eagles.
Jesus. My apologies.
I took the Giants.
I'm with you.
Split
board.
I think Saquon gets in the end zone, like for sure, though.
Spread the board.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It's
Even
probably
though
minus 500.
Yeah, like
Actually,
for sure.
I know what prop is minus 500, though. I think we all know what it is. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Okay. I'm with Cody. Nate and Zach don't know what to talk about here. This is all Giants. I love the Giants at home here. I think, Daniel Jones is bad. He's a bad quarterback. He's not good. He's not good at football. That's fair. The defense is good. The coaching has been outstanding. They're keeping themselves in these games. Even the one last week we just mentioned, they kept them in it. That game was a 3-point game until a late touchdown by Chase Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Giants win this game outright. I would love to get a little weather in New York, that little rain or something. That would make me feel even better.
That'll solidify it. Yeah.
That would be great.
That's a guarantee.
Also thinking an under. I don't know. I don't have the total in front of me, but I think this is an under game. But give me the Giants, the G-men, flirting with 500 if they win the next couple.
Hey, they beat the Seahawks. They can beat anybody, huh?
All Daniel Jones
That's
cares
good
about
logic.
is his money and Kay Adams.
Yeah, for real.
That's all he cares about.
Keep it up, DJ. Keep it up.
All right, getting towards the back half of the slate here. We're going to Los Angeles. The Rams are 7-point favorites off the bye against the Devontae Adams. I mean, they haven't had him anyway, but he's officially gone. The Rams are 7-point favorites against the Las Vegas Raiders. I will start here. I'm going to go reluctantly with the Rams -7. It just keeps climbing. It started at 5.5. By the time we're filming, it's now 7. It could get even higher. This is simple as McVay off a bye. I'm not a huge Antonio Pierce fan this season. Like, he gave him a spark and everything, but I just don't love some of his management and some of his clock management and decision-making late in games. McVay is a guy you trust in all the situations, really. I think he's a top 5 coach. He will game plan. I'll give him 2 weeks to prepare for a Raiders team. You got to give me the Rams here. Cooper Kupp, outside shot of playing. Not even outside shot. I think he has a decent shot of playing this week. I know this was their target goal. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But I like the Rams. Give me the Rams -7.
I do like the narrative of the off the bye.
Off the bye. Just sounds good. It feels good
like
to say,
that.
you know?
It does feel good. I feel like teams mostly win off the bye, especially
good
at
coach
home.
off a bye. Like, that's a good
I was
going
to say that too. I mean, Sean McVay's a good coach. He's proven he can win big games, and they're 1-4 against a 2-4 Raiders team. They have to win at home right here. I'm gonna agree with CVA. Reluctantly go with the Rams here. I think they can get it done at home. 7 is a lot of points, but they should be able to win by more than a touchdown.
I'm all in on the Rams here as well. I think it's basically a must-win game for the Rams. Like, it's pretty close to it if it's not a must-win. Yeah, Rams at home off a bye week. I think Kyron Williams has a field day against the Raiders defense. I think he's going to run all over them. Yeah, if you can't stop the run, it's hard to beat a team. So.
I do want to say I did see about if the Rams were to lose this game, say, or even go 2-5 or 3-5, whatever. At what point I saw a lot of talk about trading Cooper Kupp, trading Matthew Stafford, even. I just wonder
to the Raiders. I heard they.
I wonder at what point does that become a conversation? But obviously this is a big spot for them. Cody, are you making this a storm?
Yeah, it's another storm. I don't know how
3.
I feel. There's so many storms today.
I know.
That's never good.
We're due for it.
Yeah, that is.
It's never good. Just so everybody knows, if you're new here, but it's never good. These two teams here, they're going in completely different directions. I've been seeing on social media that Shedeur Sanders has been like in connection with like the Raiders owner, and they're like they're taking pictures at WNBA games. Not sure what's going on there.
Don't get
How
that
does
analysis.
how does that impact LeBron James?
Yeah, for real. They're having like private conversations and stuff. This team is obviously tanking. If you don't see that, I don't know what to tell you. They're 2-4. They're going to be 2-5. Like you said, the line has been continuously moving forward for a reason. This line could get close to the double digits. I think Devontae Adams is gone. His hamstring is magically healed. I don't know how that's possible, but
I mean, dude, he's been in the league, so he can do what he wants at this point.
yeah, he's been tending to a hammy, I guess, but he's good. He'll be playing in week 7. It just
Yeah.
came out, so for a different team. Forgot about that. But yeah, we're gonna be taking the Rams -7. Like Colton said, McVay off a bye is always a good sign. I know Kupp will be back this week. He had a good workout today, so he'll be in the lineup. And
You saw it.
yeah, I think he's ready. I think he has a big day. Kyron Williams, like Nate Dogg said. So yeah, give me the Rams -7. I
4
feel like this
Rams.
one's very free.
Free, easy.
Free.
Those words are brutal.
7 points.
Hey, survivor pools too. If you have the Rams still, I recommend taking the Rams.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
a
Great
That's
spot.
That's a good one.
This is a must-win game for them if they want to. Even like they might not even let Puka play this year if they keep losing.
True.
Think about it.
It
Why would they
It
rush
makes
him
no
back?
sense, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a game where they have to win it in order for fantasy
Just like
owners to be happy for Puka.
Next up, we got the Carolina Panthers, 1-5, abysmal, probably worst team in football right now. Going to the Washington Commanders, and I know we got a Jaden Daniels fan over here.
Yeah.
I like him too, of course. Their Commanders coming off a tough loss against Baltimore. They fought. It's a really tough game. No one's condemning.
No one's what?
Jaden Daniels for that one. Commanders laying 7.5 points. Cody, are you laying 7.5 with your boy?
Yeah, so Colton exaggerated it. Of course, I love this guy. I was drafting him in almost every single one of my leagues. He was tormenting the SEC. He won the Heisman. He's following Joe Burrow's path, and he's running rampant in the NFL right now. They're 4-2, top of the AFC East. The NFC East. Jeez. It's not being talked
You're
about
like Nate
enough.
Dogg with the
Yeah, I know. Last week it was you. Now it's me.
the directional. Too.
But yeah, he's the top of the NFC East. Nobody would have expected the Commanders to be at the top. It's always either Dallas or the Eagles, I guess. But he looks great. This team looks like they can win the division. I think they cover this 7.5 easily. So I'm going to lay the number with the Commanders. I think Brian Robinson's questionable. But if he doesn't play, you still got other guys who can fill that role because obviously you need a run game to cover spreads like this big. So, yeah, Commanders -7.5. I think it's a good pick. It's a lock.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Cody on this one. It's all Commanders. Jaden Daniels is, Cody said it earlier, it's a sneaky MVP candidate the way he's going. Like, you can't rule that out. Like Jaden Daniels, explosive offense, big plays, a lot of scary Terry. So, it's Halloween season. It's getting spooky.
Yeah.
Scary Terry.
This team is going to be 5-2. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The Commanders, bro. Like, oh my God.
Panthers,
Good for them.
with Andy Dalton, they've been much better. But in Washington, it's all Commanders for me in this one. They're not going to stop a nosebleed.
I'm happy for Dan Quinn, honestly. Shout out to him. He's doing a phenomenal job.
Former
I know he
Seahawk
was in
and
Dallas
Cowboy
last
and
year.
Seattle, yeah.
Sad to see him go.
Yeah, you really can't make like any real argument to pick the Panthers here. Like, there's nothing they can do against a team that's on fire, a quarterback that's on fire. The whole locker room's connecting. I mean, this team, I'm laying 7.5. I think he is too. I think you are too. So yeah,
You don't even need to listen.
Just
to
don't
this.
even think about it. It's Commanders.
I'll make that another storm. Yeah, this is bad.
So what is that? The fourth one?
We don't see this very often. But Commanders,
thinking about it, like,
Commanders
how can you
7.5.
pick the
But
Panthers?
I do have a couple concerns. Like one, line started at 8.5. It's coming down. The hook is obviously still brutal, 7.5.
Yeah.
The Commanders are still very young. I feel like they're more susceptible to like the swings of the season, the rookie wall, that kind of stuff. So there are some concerns here. But the Panthers, like, what you go into a game, what do you feel good about with the Panthers? I guess Chuba's been pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun.
No,
Jonathan
he's
Brooks,
Like,
he might be
Jonathan
back
Brooks,
soon.
Yeah,
Not
Deontay
yet.
Johnson?
Deontay's looked great.
He's looked
That's
good.
the thing with this game. This game could easily be a shootout. Even though there's not a lot of
That's the
offensive
thing too.
there's not.
The last
Easily.
point. Yeah, the Commanders'
I guess the
defense
Red
is not
Rocket,
tremendous by
yes.
any means. So there are several red flags in this game for a number like 7.5 in particular, that hook. But I just can't do it. I've taken the Panthers several times this year. I've got burned most of the time.
Yeah.
Give me the Commanders and give us a fourth storm. Jeez.
Four storms in one video.
I think so.
Too many
We've gone
storms.
videos without a single storm,
Yeah.
so this is rare.
You're in rare occurrence here.
So faded.
Rare territory.
Yeah.
Faded.
So this is gonna be our worst week.
Probably faded.
Yeah.
Next up, our game of the week here. I don't know how it's not. Obviously, it's a great game in Minnesota, but this is a Super Bowl rematch between the 5-0 off a bye Andy Reid-led Kansas City Chiefs going to the West Coast to take on the Niners, who bounced back against the Seahawks last week. They're now 3-3. The Niners are favored here by 1.5. Cody, what are you thinking here? Super Bowl rematch, the Niners' exact revenge.
Yeah, this one was really tough for me. Kansas City looks great, 5-0. Like, for you fantasy owners, I know there's a lot of guys out there who have Mahomes, and he's supposed to be the greatest quarterback, and he is great. They're 5-0 for a reason, but in fantasy, he's not an option, I don't think. Like, he just lost his number one target. Rice is out for the year with some cartilage damage to his knee.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, though, I think the Chiefs actually inch out another win here. Mahomes has been very selfless. He's playing football simply to win. He doesn't care about stats, and that's the type of guy you want on a winning football team. I always advise people when you see, I did this to Zach last year. If you remember when they were in the Super Bowl, I told you to cash out your bet.
Oh, yeah.
Because simply it's Mahomes versus Brock Purdy, and at the end of the day, there isn't a single person on the planet that I would bet against. Like, I would just take Mahomes in any spot almost, especially as a dog. I think they're probably, plus 125?
Probably a little less than that, but yes, they're
Yeah.
plus money at any point. They might even be like a minus.
I think
12
Mahomes'
or
record
something.
as an underdog
There you
is
go.
like insane. Like he's
It's-
very good as an underdog.
Underdog and short favorites, like it's good.
You want to be putting your money on Mahomes in this spot. So I'll be taking the Chiefs, who are 5-0, to go 6-0, and I'll take the points.
Big revenge game for San Fran in this one. And I'm going to pick San Fran to stand up in front of the home crowd to get the Super Bowl revenge. I think their defense is going to show up and can't stop Mahomes, but contain him. Like, the weapons, Rashee Rice is gone. Travis Kelce's a little bit older, but he's been coming back the past couple of weeks. But yeah, no, I think San Fran will get going in this game. Think about that Super Bowl loss last year and 3 years ago? About 3, 4 years ago?
2019,
Oh,
right?
5 years ago, yeah.
The
But
Chiefs torment them every year. It's like
they do. It's not the Super Bowl. It's a regular season game in front of San Fran's home crowd. Give me San Fran.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody here. Just like really just looking at the quarterbacks here. Like Cody said, Patrick Mahomes is a winner. He's gonna do whatever he can to win this game. Probably dial up Kelsey. I mean, get him more involved since they pretty much have no other options. They got Worthy for a deep threat, but he's not a volume guy. So
sneaky juju. Don't forget.
yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, it's got to be another killer Trav game, and I feel they're gonna find a way to win this game. I don't know how it's gonna be, but they're gonna do it. Mahomes is gonna get it done. So I'm on the Chiefs.
Killer Trav.
I'm a obviously proud 49ers hater. Hate them more than any team in the league. But I'm going to take them here. I'm going to take them minus 1.5. I hate to do it, and I obviously love getting the Chiefs with a plus in front of their
Oh yeah.
the spread. But I think in this spot, I know it's off a bye, and that contradicts what I said about the whole Sean McVay deal. And Andy Reid's obviously a phenomenal coach as well. But I think the Niners, the desperation, the hungry dog runs faster mantra here. I think the Niners need this win, especially the Niners. If you look at their schedule, it's not surprising they're a Super Bowl team, but their schedule is a gauntlet. I think down the stretch here, they're going to have a lot of tough games. If they can sneak out one for their confidence, again, this is the one game I'm wrong about for the Seahawks' sake, but I just think we're going to get that rare pairing of a Zach and Cody
There we
pick
go.
because I'm on the Niners here. I
No
don't feel good about
Seahawks
it. This is a
involved.
tough game, but Give me the Niners. Next up, the Jets, newly stocked with Devontae Adams, reuniting with Aaron Rodgers, heading to Nate Dogg's Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 4-2. The Jets are desperate. The Steelers are plus 1.5. The line swung, I think, with the news. I'm pretty sure it was Steelers minus 1.5, and it's now Steelers plus 1.5. Usually when you see that movement, it's a little weird. I'm going to start. I'm going to take the Jets. I like the minus 1.5 in the spot. They're a desperate football team, and again, I'm kind of just harping on this a lot. Desperate football teams in desperate spots are going to make money for us. Give me the Jets plus 1.
I have
minus 1.5.
I have some interesting thoughts about the Tay move and everything. Right now, they probably have the best wide receiver duo in the league. I couldn't really think of a more talented duo.
Metcalf, Jason?
No. I think we can all agree on that besides you because you're a Seahawks fan. But I love the Jets, dude. I don't know. It's just like I think Rodgers and Tay coming together, it's just like a storm is brewing over there. And I feel like they're going to go on a run. Rodgers is like, he knows he's about to retire. He knows he's close. And I think he's like, all right, I got to make my last impact on this league. Put props on the Jets, like in the future playoff. Like I don't know. I have a weird feeling about it. A weird feeling. Tay and Rodgers are back together. Garrett Wilson's a dog. Breece Hall, they're not going to be paying attention to him as much. This guy he's a top 5 running back. Like he hasn't been that good, but I don't know. I think a storm is brewing in New York, and just think about that. But I'm on the Jets.
Yeah, I gotta take some time to vent some frustrations with the Steelers. You know, they need a number 2 receiver so bad that I feel like what Adams went for a third can turn to a second-round pick. I mean, the Steelers can give that up. They have the cap space. Someone like Adams is definitely worth that. And now they're in a situation that they're facing him.
And they're going to
get 2 weeks in a row.
Bring in Russell Wilson. Bring in Russell Wilson.
But now they're facing him. Granted, Steelers might have tried, but he wanted to play with Rodgers, whatever. But I don't know if they tried or not, but they should have at least if they didn't. And, so, you got Garrett Wilson, you got Breece Hall, you got Devontae Adams now establishing that Rodgers connection.
One more thing. This was the minus 500 anytime touchdown Devontae Adams. That was my prop. I mean, how can it not? Like that's a lock. Like he's scoring. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with all that being said, I didn't come on the set with a Santonio Holmes Super Bowl jersey to not pick the Steelers.
Jersey.
Like so, I'm gonna take the Steelers at home. In Pittsburgh, though the Jets are desperate and I can't say it confidently at all. Jets are very desperate and it's definitely a must win. And this could actually change their season to get to the Super Bowl. If there's anything the Jets can do right now,
a storm is brewing in New York.
But
shout out Jones. Shout out Jones. Jets. Jets.
Jones is the nemesis this week, but give me the Steelers and hopefully I'm gonna say a close game.
Yeah, I agree with the set. These guys are smart over here. The name for this game should literally be the word desperate because that's what it is for the Jets. This is a desperate spot. They lost the football game last night, and they're so desperate. They're so desperate that they made a trade at I think it was 8 or 9 in the morning today. Devontae Adams was already in New York. He took the red eye from Vegas. This guy was so ready to get back with his brother Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to be – I'm so super excited. I grew up watching – Devontae Adams and Rodgers connecting on these incredible plays.
This is
these two have ever since I've been betting on sports, they've won me a lot of money. These two, I love it. I love watching the Devontae Adams highlights. He's one of my favorite players. What's not being talked about enough is what's going to end up happening with Breece Hall. Because I think now that they have 2 wide receiver ones that are legit on this team, the box cannot be stacked every play. This guy is going to have an insane amount of room. Braylon Allen as well. I'm just saying Breece because of fantasy, of course. But the box is going to not be as stacked. He's going to have a lot of room to run. I like the Jets here. It's a tough place to play. It's Pittsburgh. But they went out and got Devontae Adams, and it was just a lot of urgency with this move. So they did it for a reason.
Desperate.
And they're desperate. And the Jets are going to win.
Yeah, I have a sprinkle for you. Correct score.
Oh.
Jets 27, Steelers 10. Sprinkle that. I like that.
My gosh.
I mean the thing is that could happen.
That's sharp as a knife, bro.
I feel like we all like this game.
Oh my goodness.
That's your I don't know.
That's pretty sharp.
Fun fact though.
I like it a lot.
This is only the 3rd time the Steelers have played Aaron Rodgers ever. Once in Pittsburgh in 2009, and then the Super Bowl when we lost to him, and now 14 years later.
All right, let's conclude this thing with the doubleheader on Monday Night Football. We got another doubleheader. This has been, I think, this third doubleheader of the year.
Leave in the comments your opinions on these doubleheaders.
I don't know.
Because for me personally, this is just me saying it. I don't agree with it. If Goodell's watching this, I don't think we should keep doing this. I don't know why we would do 2 Monday Night Football games, but continue. I'm sorry.
No, that's a good point, Cody. This is a later start, too. It's an 8:15 and 8:45 start, which is weird.
Wait, 8:45?
8:45 for the Chargers.
Goodell might be like hammered making these schedules with the schedule committee over there. I don't know, but we start with the Ravens going to Tampa. A couple 4-2 teams. This is a good game. The Buccaneers are +3 and a hook at home. Cody, start us out. I think you like Tampa, but I have a feeling you're taking the Ravens in the spot.
Why do you think I like Tampa?
I just think you seem like a Baker guy.
Yeah, so Colton's correct. I'm on Tampa, and the reason being, if you can recall Week 1 of the NFL season, I don't want to compare the Ravens and the Commanders, but in Week 1, the Commanders played the Bucs. The Buccaneers beat them pretty heftily. I think it was like by 10 or 12 points. I don't remember the exact score. But this is a similar team that they're facing. They're facing a mobile quarterback with limited weapons on offense, you could say, I guess. I mean, McLaurin's a weapon. But here, in this spot, I guess the best weapon is Zay Flowers. He's good. But I think the Buccaneers can cover +3.5, especially being at home. I think Lamar could have a big game, but I think they'll be able to stop. They can neutralize the run game a little bit. That'll be the key to this game. If they can do that and they can stop Henry from getting 100 yards in this game, I think they can get it done. So I'll take the Bucs +3.
Yeah, I'm with Cody. I like the Buccaneers in this game. They're at home. Their offense is very high powered. They just hung up 51 against a division opponent in New Orleans, right?
It was in New Orleans.
Yeah, in New Orleans.
Their run game looks great, too.
Bucky
Evans. They even have Sean Tucker. Sean Tucker's having 140 yards and a touchdown.
That's gross.
But yeah, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's big game that came off of. I think Buccaneers pull it out in a close one.
Yeah, I'm also a Bucs guy. I mean, I've said it before on this show, but it's a solid team that's been together, and I feel like this season it's their time to shine. I'm all over the Bucs here. It's going to be a close game. This is going to be a fun game to watch. But I'm just going to stay with the Bucs and that explosive offense and that stud quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
This is not an official stat for this show, but I'm pretty sure. I know I back-to-back Lone Wolf the Ravens in a couple consecutive weeks. I'm doing it again here. I like the Ravens -3.5. I think the Ravens, this is tough to say with the Chiefs, obviously in the AFC, but I think they might be the best team in the AFC. This team is loaded with talent. Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield together still feels surreal. The fact that they can switch out between the greatest running quarterback ever. I know that Michael Vick homers will disagree, but Lamar's the greatest running quarterback ever, and Derrick Henry is probably one of the greatest power
There's
backs.
people within the NFL who have said it's the greatest tandem of a duo they've ever seen. So I agree.
It's like
I definitely agree.
Perfect, like water, fire, like it's like perfect. They complement each other beautifully.
Yeah.
And I don't think Tampa's defense has been banged up. They haven't been great at times. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna have an answer for this backfield. I'm gonna give the Ravens a 10-point win here.
I don't think anybody has an answer.
Exactly. So and the biggest stat of all, what's his record against NFC teams? Lamar 22-1, 23-1.
He has a great record.
He's
against
only
NFC
lost.
teams.
You know who?
They can win this game by 3 though, and you won't cover.
That's a good point. The only team that has beaten Lamar from the NFC.
Is it Dallas?
I think it's the Giants. I'm almost
the
positive.
Giants.
It makes no sense.
Dallas didn't beat him.
I'm pretty sure it was Danny Dimes.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Who it is.
Which
Danny Dimes.
makes sense, right? Last game of the week will conclude in Phoenix. The Chargers going to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Chargers 3-2, good win off the bye last week, and the Cardinals very predictable loss in my opinion last week. I was all over the Packers, and the Cardinals came off that Super Bowl-like victory for them against the Niners, and they crashed and burned. And I'm gonna say that it's gonna be similar here. I'm gonna take the Chargers -2.5. This was one of those ones. This is my don't overthink it game of the week.
I like that.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be Cardinals. They're gonna bounce back. They're up and down. No. Chargers are a better team. Kyler Murray's short. Give me the Chargers.
Very short.
What about Marvin Harrison?
Yeah, he's
out.
If he plays, bro.
Poor guy.
Him
and Olave, bro.
Awful.
He was in that game for a while. Let's not act like he got hurt in the first 5 minutes.
He's the
either.
most NFL-ready prospect ever, right?
Yeah.
Ever.
Give me Lad McConkey.
Lad's tough.
Yeah, I agree with CVA. It's a don't overthink it type of game. Do you trust Kyler Murray or do you trust the Chargers and Herbo? I trust Herbo here. I'm going to go with the Chargers. Little Kyler Murray is going to be scurrying. He's going to get sacked a bunch of times, and the Chargers will win this game comfortably.
Yeah, I'm with the boys. I'm on the Chargers in this game. The Chargers defense is very, very good. And now you got Kyler Murray, like he says, he's running around the backfield, not knowing who to throw to, throwing it out of bounds.
He's playing
Kyler
COD
Murray.
and all this stuff.
We don't shine any
Endorsed
player
by
like
Call
we
of
do
Duty.
Kyler Murray.
There's no Marvin Harrison on top of it, and I think it's not going to be pretty Chargers.
Hey, but if I want a quarterback to join me in Call of Duty, it's Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's good in
You
that.
could definitely
Top
get his
pick.
gamer tag or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
We could find that online. It's sick, but it's another one. It's another storm.
5.
Yeah.
Wow.
5. It's
5
definitely a
storms.
record. I'm going to say it. It's a
bad.
record.
It's got to be.
I've never
yeah.
seen it.
Bad. 5
Definitely
out of
fade
14
us this
games.
week. That's
This
for
is
sure.
new podcast name and new records being
I
made
know.
already. This is unreal.
We're breaking ground already.
Storms are brewing.
Yeah, but
Storms are
I'm
brewing.
taking the Chargers minus 2.5 in Arizona. Personally, for me, like we've said our fair share of things about Kyler Murray. There's nothing else I have to say really. He sometimes looks a little confused
You're
out
like
there.
you're the conductor of the Kyler Murray.
No,
hate
yeah, I
train,
know. That's why
mean,
it goes being unsaid. You know, it's just it is what it is. We have our opinions. He's in the NFL for a reason, of course. But I'm going to be taking the Chargers minus 2.5. I think Joe Alt has looked fantastic. I think he's hurt though. I'm not positive. Is he good now?
I don't know. We'll have to.
Either way, it doesn't matter if he's playing or not. They're going to get the run game going. I know Gus Edwards is out. Kamani Vidal looked great out of the backfield. He's a rookie. Maybe stash him in some of your dynasty leagues. He looks great. I think the Chargers get this done pretty easily. The Cardinals are another team where this is like a game where they're pretty desperate to win. But right now, without Marv playing, I know it seems like he'll be out. He's trending out. It doesn't look like a
He's
spot
so
they're going to be able
bad.
to. They're not going to be able to win here. So I like the Chargers. I got mine too.
All right, this is where we make, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we make our money. Look at these percentages. Everything over 55%. Now this is a 24-week sample. I mean,
Not bad.
thoughts like this is. I think the sample size is getting large enough where, this is our segment right here. And I'm gonna kick us
Lock it
off
in.
because I love my lock this week as always. Nate Dogg is not gonna love it. It is the New York Jets.
Yeah,
and
I
let me
love
tell
it.
you a thing about the Jets.
Love it.
The Jets are gonna roll in and they're gonna break this man's heart because it's all Jets.
He knows it too.
27-10. Hammer the correct score.
Yes, sir.
It's all Jets.
Yes, sir.
Give me a 17-point win.
Devontae touchdown.
Devontae touchdown.
Even though there's no value on it, it's going to be minus 500.
Get all those props on the
guaranteed.
Jets. This is an Aaron Rodgers legacy. No,
If the
like-
score-
this is an Aaron Rodgers
That's like
spot.
plus
You got to
500.
hammer it. This is all Jets. Poor Nate Martins.
If the score is actually 27-10, you'll see Colton on ESPN
Yeah,
next week. He'll have a
facts.
job.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be nice. It'll be good. My lock this week is going to be my guy, Jaden Daniels. Shout out to him and the Commanders. I think they're going to blow the doors off the Panthers at home. This game, I think it could be maybe a 21-point victory. That seems sharp right there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sharp as a knife.
Sharp.
I like the Commanders. I like JD. I'm hoping B-Rob plays because if he can play, he's looked great. He's looked unstoppable. He'll add some tutties. I like McLaurin this week. The Panthers aren't stopping anybody. They haven't stopped anybody this year. I think the trend continues. Commanders minus 7.5. That's my lock.
So my lock is the Lions against Z's Vikings.
A lot of friendly fire in the lock segment today.
little bit of a
Friendly fire.
riskier pick,
Yeah.
but I think Detroit has that game on lock.
Vikings got to be.
Good try,
Vikings got to
buddy.
lose at some point here. No offense. Like
They're not.
Are they gonna be
though.
like 8-0? Like,
They might be the most fraudulent 5-0 team we've ever seen.
Whoa.
I can't even say that's wrong, though. You know what I mean? Like
It's Sam Donald, dude. It's tough.
I
like,
can't even say that's
Is Sam
wrong.
Let's,
Donald going to be a winner? Like,
give it-
I
No,
mean,
you
they
know what the
definitely gotta-
worst?
they
you
get-
know-
hey, now's their time. It's time to prove something.
The
you know?
worst undefeated team. I'm taking a lot of shots at you. I'm not meaning to. The worst undefeated team was like the 2020 COVID Steelers that were 11-0. They were not even.
Oh.
They were not even a good
They
team.
were so bad. I do.
Well,
know.
no, but they lost.
They were
didn't
good in the
they?
first half.
They were
They
terrible.
lost
fizzled
like
out.
5 straight games, didn't they?
Yeah, they fizzled
They
out at the
were
end.
right, but they were 11-0 at
That
one
was
point
like the
or something.
Eagles.
It
Remember the
was
Eagles 2 years
disgusting.
ago? They started
Yeah.
out. What did they start out? They didn't even hit their win total. They had 10 wins
I
and they
think
didn't
I
get
do know
the
what
win
you're talking
total.
about, but
Yeah.
that
nuts.
Steelers team popped on my man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Zach, lock it up.
Yeah, I think CVA was saying it before, but in a game that it's not a must-win game, but it kind of feels like it could be a must-win game right now. The Falcons are going to roll the Seahawks. And this is ties.
How
This
is
is
that
blood
your lock?
ties
How
right
is that
here.
your
Blood
lock? So
ties.
personal.
Kirk Cousins is going to dominate the Seahawks. Dominate them. He is a solid quarterback who has shown it time after time. People underrate. They underrate him. They don't like him. They make fun of him. He's going to drop 30 on the Seahawks. They're going to have like maybe a field goal, maybe 6 points.
I can't even say you're wrong. He's
That's
going to have
my
his
lock.
chain on too.
Yeah, he's going to be going like this.
Kirko chain with it.
We concluded with fantasy players of the week. I think Nate Dogg had the best one with Romeo Dobbs last
Romeo
week.
Dubes, 2 touchdowns.
Romeo Dubes,
In his return. The return of the Dubes.
I know you had Mo Alley Cox.
Mo Alley Cox,
left field.
if y'all started him,
Yeah.
hey, they gave you like 5 or 6 points.
He had a little output.
Hey, 5 or 6 points at the tight end position this year, though, is value.
That's true.
The tight ends have been so bad. They're kind of ramping up a bit.
That's a fact.
It's getting a little better, but the first 3 weeks were
I want
bad.
to start with Nate Martins. I've been picking on you here today. What's your fantasy player of the week? I feel bad.
My fantasy player of the week is none other than, it's spooky season, Scary Terry.
Yes,
Lock
sir.
this in against the
It's a big
Panthers.
summer blowout right there.
Oh, like, I was very close to my Garrett Wilson prediction like a couple days, like last week on the show.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah, pretty close to it. But yeah, Scary Terry, I think he gets 7 for $140 and maybe 2 touchdowns.
7
Not
for
one, but 2.
Okay.
I love it.
I'll kick it to Cody. What do you got?
Yeah, I kind of elaborated earlier on in the show. There's going to be reports coming out. I already see it. Devontae Adams is going to be limited. I'd be careful starting him in fantasy. It may take a little bit to get him welded into the offense.
No.
False. It's all false. This guy is going to be perfect. Him and Rodgers already have a great connection. I see Adams going for his best game of the year so far. I think he's only had one good game this year. It was like week 1. I think he gets 8 receptions, 120 yards, and a touchdown in this game. Easy.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what this duo is going to be like. Garrett Wilson's volume's obviously going to go down.
It will, but you can't double them both at the end of the day.
It's going to be tough.
You can't.
It's going to be very tough.
They'll probably both still be more efficient though.
Yeah.
I think it docks Garrett Wilson's stock a little bit, but at the end of the day, like Rodgers is going to get all the volume when the game's on the line. Like who's getting the ball thrown to him? It's not Garrett Wilson. It's Rodgers. You know what I mean? I mean it's Adams. Yeah.
All right, Zach, you got a player?
He wants to play again, Devontae now.
His hamstring's good, guys. It's good.
Yeah, this is a pick where it's like this team's probably going to be playing from behind, and they're going to have to throw the ball. I know this is probably the worst offense, worst defense in the league right now. But I'm going to go with David Njoku. He had a couple.
I was not expecting that.
He had a couple big games.
Could give me 100 guesses. I wouldn't
Really?
have guessed that.
Really?
Hey,
Wow.
Cooper's gone though.
No, I like that. I like that.
It's good.
He's,
No, it's good,
I know the
especially for
tight end
position.
Yeah, the tight end position. I know he said it's kind of lacking
that
this
might
year.
be razor sharp.
But
David Njoku.
yeah, I just feel like he had a couple big games last year, and last week he had 7 targets. So I feel like this is a good spot for him. They're gonna have to throw the ball. Who are they gonna throw it to?
He's a security blanket.
This dude's like 6'7", like 290. I don't know how much not 290, but you know what I mean. He's a big dude.
It's a sharp pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Njoku.
I'm going to go with my good friend Zach's Jordan Addison in this one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think the Lions continue to struggle to stop people except the Cowboys. But
it's Jerry's
their
world,
defense
though.
is still susceptible. Zach and I a couple years ago, or even it was last year, like had this like little competition, like JSN or Jordan Addison, who's going to be better. Obviously, we're on opposite sides of that. But here I'm going to go with
tight.
I'm going to go with Jordan.
Not right now.
I know.
Well,
Addison's already had a way better career.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So
very, very long. They're both very young.
why do I bring this up? I'm going Jordan Addison to have a great game. Give me 7 catches because I think they're really gonna. I mean, every team does this, but really focus on Jettas.
Is Hawkinson back? I've seen he might.
I don't know.
He's
sure.
projected 7 points on ESPN. I don't know what that means, but
ESPN's
he is
wrong.
projected.
Said that.
Yeah, he's projected to play.
Give me 7 catches,
Hawk tour.
83 yards, and a touchdown for Jordan Addison on Sunday. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Once again, we want to shout out Gavin for having us in this spot. We love the studio. It's
Absolutely.
amazing. We're very grateful to be here.
Great opportunity.
Again, we're grateful for you guys watching as we look to the future. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. We appreciate it more than you know. And let's have a week 7. The storms were flowing, but let's have.
I have a
great week
request,
7.
Colton. Please tell all your aunties, your cousins about the show.
Yeah.
Let them know you can watch it with them.
Your aunties, your uncles,
the more the
your
merrier.
cousins,
You
your
know, get the
grandpas.
cousins, the grandmothers, everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's got to love football. So
I think the grandmas love us.
yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah.
the aunties
Oh, yeah.
do as well.
As well. So
Definitely.
we will see you in week 8.